I'll tell you what, Bruce, I am barely alive, man. As usual. As usual on a Monday night. What's the saying around here, folks, every Monday night? This show sucks. Really. This show sucks, man. Survivor Series is coming up, guys. I don't know who's excited, but it's the one time a year where Monday Night Raw goes head-to-head with SmackDown. Oh, really now? Really now? I had no idea! Randy Orton was on the Moment of Piss talk show tonight. I'll give you one clue where I was. Retribution is absolutely dead. And Sheamus and Matt Riddle had one hell of a match, man. I'm really trying to think about what else happened tonight, man. Nothing happened. I'm gonna try my best, bro. Tonight, it's Law and OTS right here on the Monday Night Raw post show on Off the Script.
Is this what you want? This fucking foliage? Is this what you want? Mr. Dips? Is this what you want? Me standing in front of EC3 buying designer coats? Is this what you want? Me sitting in some hipster hotel in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, fluffing pillows? Is this what you want? I don't believe this. This graffiti art, the hotels, avocado toast. All I want is a fucking Guinness. An ice cold Guinness. What the hell does that mean? Oh, this is what you wanted. This is your Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script.
You know, folks, WWE is absolutely ridiculous, man. I really don't understand how they look themselves in the mirror and are pleased with the job that they do on a weekly basis. It's as if they really just want to mock the fans. Either that or they're just completely brain dead stupid. Survivor Series is coming up in 3 weeks. 3 weeks from Sunday. Less than 3, whatever. Less than 4 weeks. Survivor Series is coming up. They promote the show as the one time a year where Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on Fox go head to head. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't we just have a WWE draft where all we seen through both of those shows, Raw versus SmackDown on those shows, right? I mean, just last night, we had Otis. We had Otis on Hell in a Cell's pay-per-view. Otis, who's a SmackDown superstar, challenging The Miz, who's a Monday Night Raw superstar. So, Bruce, I'd love for you to tell me how you're going to shill one time a year. And let's not forget the brand-to-brand invitational, which was a thing this summer for at least 4 weeks. And let us not forget about Sasha Banks and Bayley and Asuka and the Raw Women's Championship, right, with Kairi Sane involved. Didn't that include Raw versus SmackDown as well? Honestly. Yet they want us to care about their negligence on how they've ruined this concept. They want us to somehow care about a Survivor Series build and a Survivor Series show that offers absolutely nothing. Now, I'll tell you what. I'll be brutally honest with you because nobody else that's live right now is going to be fucking honest with you. They're all a bunch of fucking cocksuckers. WWE has the Survivor Series this way because they just don't know how to creatively write. They don't know how to book. You see, with the way that they have things set up right now, they virtually have to do no work. There's nothing there. There's nothing involved in creatively writing Survivor Series. It books itself. You take the Universal Champion and you put him against the WWE Champion. You take the United States Champion, you put him against the Intercontinental Champion. You do the same thing with the women's titles. You do the same thing with the tag team titles. Poof! Poof! It's greater magic than fucking Hogwarts. It just appears. They got 4 matches booked already, and they did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Then all you have to do is put your heads together, which I know is a difficult thing to do for you, you fucking slob, Bruce Pritchard. I know. You got to put your heads together and come up with a men's Survivor Series traditional match, right? You got to pick 5 from Raw and 5 from SmackDown. Then you got to do the same thing with the women, which is not as difficult as the men because there is no division in the women's division. Whoever's going to be on the team is, in fact, the entire fucking division. So there really is no effort there, Bruce. And poof, you have a Survivor Series pay-per-view, folks. Absolutely no effort. That's why they do it. They got the night off. Their pens have taken the entire 3-week build off. Then they could start booking for TLC 1 week before that show actually takes place. And then they'll go on a permanent fucking vacation till the Royal Rumble. Then they'll book the Royal Rumble with fucking 5 days left to go because it's the Royal Rumble. How difficult can it be? I don't know why anybody in WWE would expect us to care about the Survivor Series. I want you guys to converse with me. Do you care? I know most of you watching me, I know over 1,000 people are in here right now. You don't give a shit about the Survivor Series. Yeah, the matches may be cool, but I'm looking at it from a different perspective. What exactly is the meaning of Survivor Series? WWE has absolutely ruined the entire concept to a point where nobody's going to take this event seriously. What is on the line? You mean to tell me that brand supremacy is on the line? Hey, Bruce. Hey, Vince. How many times this year alone did you develop some sort of competition between Raw and SmackDown to get it to this point for us to actually care? Was there any competition? Was there any bad blood between Monday Night Raw on the USA Network and Friday Night SmackDown on Fox? There's been nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what exactly is on the line? Bragging rights? Who gives a shit? Nobody's watching these shows on a weekly basis now. You want bragging rights to be on the line. Who cares? We're not fucking 6 years old anymore. Oh, I'm gonna pledge my allegiance to Monday Night Raw, man. SmackDown is the enemy, man. No, we're not gonna go and do that. We're not fucking children. So what exactly is on the line? Maybe some draft picks from NXT. Maybe coveted spots in the Royal Rumble. Maybe a draft pick, a number 1 draft pick next year in the WWE draft. I don't know. Maybe the winning brand wins home field advantage for their brand at WrestleMania. Now, what I mean by that is if Raw wins, then the WWE Championship match is the main event of WrestleMania. If SmackDown wins, then the Universal Championship match is the main event of WrestleMania. Give me something. Spots in the Royal Rumble, like I just mentioned, maybe the 5 guys that are on Raw or the 5 guys that are representing SmackDown. If they win, then they have guaranteed spots from 16 to 30 awaiting them in the Royal Rumble. Fucking tickle me, Bruce. Tickle me with some fucking creativity, please. What exactly is on the line? Why should I care about this show? Now, if any of you are in the chat thinking that I'm going overboard or thinking that I'm thinking too much about this, then by all means, again, let me know. But I know for a fact that this show is absolutely fucking worthless. Now, the Survivor Series, like I said, it doesn't take a lot of effort to build Survivor Series. We have Randy Orton as the WWE champion. He's going one-on-one with Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. It will be Asuka versus Sasha Banks. It will be New Day versus Street Profits. And it will be Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. That is U.S. title versus Intercontinental title. And they also did tease tonight the Hurt Business going after the New Day's tag team titles. So it looks like they may be adding the Hurt Business into the tag team division because they got the fucking Lucha House Party running around like a bunch of Mexican jumping beans chasing the 24/7 title. So they drafted a tag team from SmackDown over to Raw to do absolutely nothing with them. Then we got the men's and women's Survivor Series matches, the 5-on-5 elimination matches. These will be contested in one-on-one matches to determine who is on each team. Qualifying matches tonight. We got the Raw team pretty much all set. It's Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and Lana, who, by the way, went through a 6th table tonight on Monday Night Raw. Lana qualified in a match tonight. And so far for the men on the Raw side, it's AJ Styles, Keith Lee, and Sheamus qualifying for their team. We'll go over how they got there as we get on into the review. But it's not looking all that exciting, folks. It really isn't. The Survivor Series offers zero excitement whatsoever because there really is nothing on the line. You don't care. I don't care. Why the fuck would anybody care about the Survivor Series? Also, tonight we got Randy Orton. He was a guest on A Moment of Piss. I'll give you one guess where I was during the segment. And I don't know who is interested. I mean, you gotta be some fucking geek. Seriously, you gotta be the biggest fucking geek in the community if you are excited about a Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt rematch for the WWE Championship. As if we didn't learn our fucking lesson several years ago when they were in the WWE title match at WrestleMania. Now we're going to go over the negatives, which are vast, and positives, which are few, of why these two are feuding on Monday Night Raw. So we'll go over that. Miz is Mr. Money in the Bank. He is teasing a cash-in, and he's threatening Drew McIntyre. He's threatening Randy Orton. Who knows what they're going to do with The Miz, but he didn't look like a serious threat to anybody's title tonight. We got Sheamus and Matt Riddle could end up being the match of the entire fucking week. Those two guys tore the house down. We'll go over what exactly they did and why Matt Riddle is not on Team Raw. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know why you're going to leave that man off of your pay-per-view. I just don't get it. I just do not get it. And Retribution, I don't really get this either, man. Bruce, you got to do something, bro. You got to do something. Please. Get Retribution off TV. I said it tonight. If your intent was to kill prime NXT talent, you've succeeded. They are legitimately one of the worst things creative has ever produced. Cut your losses and save all involved. I am sick of seeing talent underutilized. It is awful. It is absolutely awful, man. I don't really understand what they're doing here. I don't know why we had to see this match again tonight. And the fucked up thing is they did an elimination match 3 weeks before Survivor Series with the Hurt Business and Retribution. It's as if they legitimately don't care. Keep that in mind when I go over the news for Monday Night Raw. They legitimately do not care. So we're going to go over that. I got your Monday Night Raw news. We're going to break down the show like we only can right here on OTS. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the post show for Monday Night Raw on Off the Script. If you missed the Hell in a Cell 2020 honest review, I am always honest, man. I'm an honest man, bro. Hell in a Cell 2020 review live on the channel right now. Not all that exciting of a show last night. Sasha Banks won the SmackDown Women's title. Randy Orton defeated Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. They had a fantastic match last night with great storytelling. The WWE is definitely capable of great storytelling. They just refuse to do it on Monday night, apparently. So if you guys missed that, link for that video is down below. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Everything you need is linked down below. If you missed Off the Script this past Wednesday, some people are calling it the best Off the Script episode of the entire year. Episode 348, go and check that out. It's the first thing you'll see on the channel with the Hell in a Cell review. I would appreciate you guys going and check that out. We were number one last night. We're number one tonight. We're number one every fucking week, man. Hoot Media. Are we number one, man? Let me know what is going on. My analyst, Hoot Media, are we number one? Follow me on social media, guys. Thank you to all that tweeted with me live at JD from NY206 on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. We are nearing already 120,000 subscribers, man. We are on our way. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Hoot Media says we are number one, man. We are number one. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Twitter, Instagram, hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. We got 379 likes. We got 1,500 watching right now, man. Why isn't there 1,500 thumbs up? That's what I want to know. I know there are a few geeks in here that don't like me watching, man. I see right through you. I see right through you. You're here because you know I'm right, even though you won't say anything publicly. I know. Wink, wink. So for those geeks in the chat that have not hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. It helps out the channel very much so. Appreciate you guys. If you want to support the show, variety of ways to do that. Number one, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you guys for all the patronage on Patreon. You guys are awesome there. Got some cool stuff coming up in the winter months leading to Christmas. Going to be good stuff there. Mouthmasker.com. Make sure you guys go and get your off-the-script masks. Mouthmasker.com/OTS. If you guys want to go and get a t-shirt, bonfire.com is the only place to do that. Bonfire.com. Link is down in the description below for all of your official off-the-script merchandise. And today's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Blue Chew. I know after a show like this tonight, I think everybody's going to need some fucking Blue Chew, man. Don't let Bruce Pritchard's creative bankruptcy put you in a shit mood, bro. Don't let Bruce Pritchard leave you uninspired in the bedroom. BlueChew.com. Use code JD at checkout to get some free, yes, free Blue Chew. And we will go over my friends at Blue Chew a little bit later on in the show, man. So thank you to them for sponsoring the show. We got some news, man. I might as well go over the news. I lost my link to the news. Give me 1 second as we pull up Monday Night Raw news coming out of Hell in a Cell. This is very important information I want to go over with you guys because there's some major stories here. There is some exclusives. So let's start at the top. WWE made a huge change to the Hell in a Cell main event coming out of last night with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. This decision ended McIntyre's first title reign, and it also caught Randy Orton up to Triple H's 14 world title reigns. The company had made a lot of decisions to make for Hell in a Cell, and the decision to put the title on Orton was not, I stress this, was not in the original plans. Ringside News is reporting and has learned that Randy Orton winning the WWE title from Drew McIntyre was not the original plan for this match. McIntyre was originally set to retain the title. Vince McMahon has also changed up plans for the Survivor Series match that they had previously had in mind. They were gonna go with Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, and they did not do that. And now they've opted to go with Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns instead. And they are hearing, now, I don't know what's going to happen after Monday Night Raw, but as of this report from Ringside News, Drew McIntyre is going to captain Team Raw instead of doing anything else at the show. Now, he could captain Team Raw after what we've seen tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a triple threat match between Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. Why is Drew McIntyre getting a WWE title match after he lost and realistically should be in the back of the line now? I don't know. If I got to see another Drew McIntyre Randy Orton match on pay-per-view this year, I think my head might fucking explode. Get them away from each other. It's over. Randy Orton won the WWE title last night. Creative decision, whatever the case may be. Finch changed his mind. Now, what we're looking at is an inevitability. This is Edge versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. That's what we're getting, if Edge can come back, which I'm assuming he will be back by WrestleMania. So that's your WWE title match at WrestleMania, and that's why they did the decision last night to give Randy Orton the WWE title. Now we'll go over what I think of Bray Wyatt being in the title mix on Monday Night Raw already. Here's a clue. I don't like it. Survivor Series plans for Drew McIntyre, like I said, have him captaining Team Raw. Now, Drew McIntyre was originally planned to win Hell in a Cell. They changed that around. And Ringside News has also learned that Otis and Tucker might not get a singles match that people are hoping for right away. They will be on opposing sides during the Raw versus SmackDown match at Survivor Series, says Ringside News. Then they followed up their story. So if you're wondering who's going to be on Team Raw with Drew McIntyre, we got possible Drew McIntyre being the captain, AJ Styles, Sheamus, and Keith Lee. So those are the names right there. And then you could possibly add Tucker, being that he got drafted to Monday Night Raw split from Otis. But that's not the case anymore, folks. Now, if you guys watched Hell in a Cell last night, you would have seen Tucker turn on Otis. And then as of today, Tucker, who was a Monday Night Raw superstar, got quietly moved over to SmackDown once again. So now he's on the same brand as Otis. I don't really understand that. So why did you break them up? Why did you initially break them up? And here's another thing. WWE did not have any plans for Otis and Tucker to be a heel and baby face. They did not have any plans for them to feud up until about a week ago. So they moved these guys on separate brands, broke them up, and then turned Tucker heel. Because they figured Tucker doing something as a heel instead of being a babyface on Raw would be better than just him doing whatever he was doing coming out of Heavy Machinery as a single. I don't even know why the fuck you broke them up. It's not like you have tag teams to go around breaking up. It's not like you have any other tag teams to replace them with on either show. It just doesn't make any sense. So whatever the Survivor Series plan was for Drew McIntyre to have a Tucker teammate is now out the window. It is now out the window. And they might not even be getting their singles match at Survivor Series anyway. They might save that for TLC. So I wanted to put that in the Monday Night Raw news and notes because Tucker, realistically, was a Monday Night Raw superstar. And they quietly moved him without anybody knowing. I doubt they would even acknowledge it. So that's two blunders they made with the draft. They had Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan come out on Monday Night Raw last week, and they were drafted to SmackDown. Now they got Tucker drafted to Monday Night Raw, and they quietly moved him back over to SmackDown. I guarantee you, I think somebody in the back, somebody in management didn't even realize which brand he was on. They were like, oh, Heavy Machinery's on SmackDown, right? Because Otis is on SmackDown, right? We didn't break them up, right? We didn't split them up in the draft. Oh, yes, you did, motherfucker. Yes, you did. Now I need an explanation. Now I need a full-fledged explanation on A, why you did what you did in the draft, B, how he went from Raw to SmackDown again, and what did Raw get in return? Am I going to get these answers? Probably not. Probably not. Retribution. Why Retribution have lost their push in WWE. This is not a difficult one to figure out, folks. You could probably piece this one together on your own. You don't need me to help you along the way. But the company decided to make Mustafa Ali Retribution's new leader. And they got new names, they got new masks, they got new theme music. They were given the full-fledged WWE package. They were given everything that they needed. Now, since the faction has undergone these changes, they have racked up loss after loss after loss after loss, and they have not yet picked up a legit win on television, which I guess defeats the purpose of why they're even together. They want to recreate the WWE in their own image, Mr. Teabag says, Mr. Dominic Dijakovic. So if you are out there losing every match, I guess you want to recreate the WWE in your image as losers. Now, I think you're doing a swell job because this show is run by losers. This show is written by losers. This show is watched by losers. This show is reviewed, mostly, not me, by losers. So you're doing a fine job there, Teabag. If that is your plan, you are succeeding like I didn't think you could. So they want to recreate Monday Night Raw and WWE in their own image. Realistically, they're not doing such a good job. They're not doing a good job. Do you feel threatened by Retribution when they come out? Honestly, do you feel like they are about to overthrow WWE? That was the entire purpose of them even existing. That was the entire premise of the storyline. Now WWE has moved away from that. They've absolutely cut their balls off, and now there's no reason for them to exist on this show. Someone pass the word to fucking Teabag. This is why I tweeted Bruce tonight. I know he doesn't give a shit, even if he did read the fucking tweet. I know he did. Nobody's tweeting Bruce. I probably got Bruce more activity on his Twitter tonight than he had in the last fucking 6 months. They don't care. Now, Ringside News has learned why Retribution has lost steam. This is not a new reason to anybody. Typical of WWE, Vince McMahon has just lost interest. There you go, folks. Vince McMahon has just lost interest. They had a ton of momentum I don't know where the fucking momentum was. They had barely any. But this report from Ringside News says they've had a ton of momentum before this, and that has quickly diminished. A member of the creative team with very close knowledge of this particular situation told us at Ringside News, and I quote, "Retribution is the victim of the same thing everyone else is a victim of here. Lack of focus at the very top. And the very top is Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard." End quote. Now, it is very interesting. I want you guys to think about this, man. It is very interesting when you look at Retribution. Retribution. I'm going to go into my bag of conspiracies here. Retribution, you look at Retribution, Dominic Dijakovic, he was supposed to be on Monday Night Raw, and he was handpicked by Paul Heyman, I'm assuming. He was supposed to be on Monday Night Raw and did not debut, and this is what they had planned for him after they did not debut him. Who wanted him on Monday Night Raw? That was Paul Heyman. Okay? Shane Thorne was on Monday Night Raw with Brendan Vink. Remember that? And they got a win over Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. Shane Thorne was on Monday Night Raw, and then all of a sudden he disappeared. Who asked for Shane Thorne to be on Monday Night Raw? Oh, that was Paul Heyman as well, right? That was Paul Heyman as well, if I'm not mistaken. Dio Madden, we all know the story with Dio Madden. He was the color commentator on Monday Night Raw when they had their season premiere last year. He went through a table by Brock Lesnar. They removed him from the commentary position. He was handpicked by Paul Heyman. Mia Yim. I'm assuming Mia Yim is a Paul Heyman girl as well. Mustafa Ali, he's a Paul Heyman guy, I'm assuming. Paul Heyman wanted to push guys like Ali, Ricochet, Cedric, Apollo, Aleister Black, so on and so forth. So he fits into that mold. He fits into that criteria of being a Paul Heyman guy. And this is the kicker, folks. Nobody's gonna fucking mention this on any fucking podcast tonight. You're hearing it right here. This is the kicker. Why was Retribution debuting on SmackDown, going from Raw to SmackDown, and then all of a sudden you got the word, we got the news, that Retribution is going to be exclusive to Monday Night Raw? Oh, that's right, because they moved Paul Heyman over to SmackDown, and Bruce, who's in charge of both Raw and SmackDown, he doesn't really have much going on SmackDown. You see what's going on SmackDown. It's kind of different from Monday Night Raw. You got Heyman writing for Roman Reigns. You got Heyman writing for the Usos. You got Heyman writing the best storyline in all of pro wrestling right now. You got Daniel Bryan writing on SmackDown. You see his influence showing every single week. Bruce has more power on Monday Night Raw. Bruce has more say on Monday Night Raw than he does on SmackDown. He might be the executive director, but most of his ideas are being filtered through Monday Night Raw. But they were exclusive to Monday Night Raw. They were not on SmackDown anymore. Why would Bruce put Retribution? Why would Bruce put Paul Heyman guys on SmackDown when he can handle them personally on Monday Night Raw? Bruce Pritchard was involved in creating Wobbly Walrus. All of a sudden, we see Wobbly Walrus disappear from the Firefly Funhouse. Now Bray Wyatt's on Monday Night Raw. There's no reason why Wobbly Walrus needed to be a character in the Firefly Funhouse. It was only done and created to create, I guess, this vision or image of Paul Heyman through Bruce Pritchard's eyes. It was done to mock Paul Heyman. Retribution is a creation of Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard that Bruce Pritchard is now in charge of, and this is Bruce's retribution against Paul Heyman. Because they're all Paul Heyman men and women. And now they're being buried. They haven't won one single match on Monday Night Raw. They haven't done anything that they set out to do. They haven't done anything that they said in any promo on Monday night because of Bruce Pritchard. So when you look at Retribution and why they lost their push and why they need to just go away and disband and why we need these men and women to go back to their real wrestling names, Dominic Dijakovic, Shane Thorne, Dio Madden, Mia Yim. They need to go back because WWE has legitimately killed 5 NXT talents. I'm not even including Mercedes Martinez. She got out. Ali, They're ruining careers. They're ruining careers. Why are they doing this to such great talent that could actually help Monday Night Raw differentiate itself from SmackDown and help Monday Night Raw be a better show, which we all know it needs to be? So when you look at Retribution, I'm looking into my bag of conspiracies. This is being done to Paul Heyman men and Mia Yim. It's right there. It's right there. So that's my take on that. The end of Retribution needs to happen. Honestly. That's the news. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you guys think about that, man. I'm really fucking heated about that. I really am. I can't stand to see. If there's one thing I can't stand, man, I can't stand to see talent wasted. I can't stand to see talent underutilized. But these people don't care. They book for their own pleasure. They don't book to create. They don't book to please us. They book to appease their own entertainment. They book to appease Vince McMahon. They got it all wrong. And this is why I will continue to say Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon need to absolutely be removed from every creative aspect that is Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. No question. Let's go over the show, man. Remember, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And thank you to Blue Chew for sponsoring the show right here on Off the Script. Drew McIntyre came out to open the show. He walked down the aisle, and Drew says once he got to the ring that he's been searching for words to describe how he feels about losing his WWE title to Randy Orton. He says, truth is, I have no excuses. Just one promise. I will be WWE champion once again. He said a movie line about how it's not about how hard you hit, but how hard you can get hit and keep going. He said his career shows that when he gets knocked down, he gets up twice as strong. He said everyone is probably wondering why he's such in a good mood, throwing out inspirational quotes. I thought I was listening to fucking John Cena out in the ring. He said it's true he got thrown off the side of the cell and landed on the table, the announce table, and it hurt like hell. He made Lana jealous last night, I'm sure. And the fall that Drew McIntyre did last night at Hell in a Cell was a direct inspiration from the original Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels at Bad Blood. And that exactly is what it was. They paid homage to Shawn Michaels falling off the side of the cage in that original first ever Hell in a Cell match. So he said it's all true. He got thrown off the side of the cell, landed on the table. It hurt like hell. He said if you knew what was going on in his head, you'd be scared. Then he was interrupted by somebody that I usually pick up the remote control and change the channel for, The Miz. And Drew McIntyre looks and laughs at The Miz walking down the aisle, and he says, you just messed up. So Miz came out with John Morrison flaunting the Money in the Bank contract. Miz says all good things must come to an end, be it Otis's title run as Money in the Bank holder or Drew McIntyre as WWE champion. Morrison said they're not calling McIntyre a loser, he's just not a winner. A second place finish is good for a lot of people. Miz says now Drew doesn't have to worry about facing Randy Orton for the WWE title anymore because he has the briefcase. He said he wants everyone to understand that it entitled him to a world championship match anytime he wants. So Miz said, hypothetically, let's say Drew won last night. He said then he'd be outnumbered by then, and he would have cashed in his Money in the Bank contract, becoming the WWE champion. Sure you would have, Miz. Sure you would have. He said he would be disappointed, frustrated, and empty-handed either way. Morrison said the bright side is there's no target on his back anymore. I hope it doesn't take you another 19 years for you to get another title shot, Morrison said and laughed. Drew started laughing and said this is a joke. Drew then headbutted John Morrison and Miz. Morrison imitated his accent and said that they should be friends. Drew popped him in the face with a headbutt then gave him an overhead toss. Morrison rolled out of the ring. Miz followed him. Drew went after them, and they ran away. And then Drew stomped on the Miz's sunglasses. Drew says he has a great idea that he's going to run by management. It's going to be a bad night for both you and John Morrison, he says. And then he called them frigging idiots to end the promo. Now, I don't really get where they're going with this Miz thing. You know, this really doesn't make Miz look like a Money in the Bank contract threat. Now, I know he's a wily heel, he's a slimy heel, but at some point, you got to make him look a little credible. Otherwise, if he cashes in, nobody's going to take him serious as a WWE champion, which I hope to God is not the way that they go. And I don't really understand the Miz coming out here because he's flaunting the Money in the Bank briefcase around the former WWE champion. So I don't really get the point of this segment if the Miz is the Money in the Bank contract holder and he's flaunting it around the ex-WWE champion. Maybe the Miz didn't watch the fucking pay-per-view last night. Maybe he left early. Maybe he didn't watch Randy Orton win the WWE title. I don't know, but this segment didn't make any sense whatsoever. It did not make Drew McIntyre look good, John Morrison, or the Miz look good. I just don't get why we got what we got in this opening segment when the Miz is the Money in the Bank briefcase holder and Drew McIntyre is no longer the WWE champion. He should be targeting Randy Orton. Miz should be waiting and calculating a plan and not wanting to wrestle. He's got an easy in now. He doesn't have to do anything against anybody. He is, per the briefcase, a number one contender for the fucking title. He can give himself a match anytime he wants. Why is he out there flaunting the briefcase and making fun of ex-champions? I don't get it. I don't get it. This is one of those big logic gaps that Bruce Pritchard fucking wobbled into and he couldn't get himself out of. Fucking stupid. Moving on here. We got AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy. This is a Raw Survivor Series qualifying match. Now, we've seen this match how many times since August? Gotta be about 6 times. Gotta be about 6 times we've seen Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles in a ring together. Why are we getting this again? And how many more times are we going to see rinse and repeat matches on Monday Night Raw? We are already 3 weeks removed from the draft, and we're getting rinse and repeat on Monday Night Raw. Does nobody find that to be a fucking problem? Now, the match itself was fine. I just don't give a shit about these two guys wrestling. I don't care. I really don't care. They got great chemistry. And to me, you were not going to have AJ Styles off the Survivor Series team. You just were not. So this was pretty self-explanatory at the end anyway. So Styles was in control. He was grounding Hardy. Hardy broke free of a submission. Styles kicked him in the head, then brainbuster suplexed him for a 2 count. Hardy made a quick comeback. He scored a 2 count. Styles put Hardy on his shoulders for a torture rack and then spun him around in a power bomb. Went for a cover, got a near fall 2 count. They counted each other's signature moves. Hardy was briefly distracted by the doorman on the outside, Jordan Omogbehin, and Styles knocked him off the top rope. Styles blocked Hardy's setup of a twist of fate on the ring apron and shoved him into the ring post. He then hit the phenomenal forearm for the win, and he secured his spot on Team Raw for the Survivor Series. So that's that. Pretty self-explanatory. Styles was always going to be on Team Raw because it doesn't make sense for him not to be there. After the match, Styles celebrated. Elias attacked Hardy in the ring from behind with his guitar, paying Hardy back after what Hardy did to him at Hell in a Cell. Elias continues to look like a blithering idiot every single week because Jeff Hardy was not the one who ran you over. Jeff Hardy was not the one who ran you over, Elias. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Or why I should care. I really don't understand it. Sarah Schreiber interviewed R-Truth about retaining his 24/7 title. at Hell in a Cell. He says he's going to watch his contenders battle next. Why? I got a lot of whys here. Why does he want to watch? That's the whole purpose of the 24/7 titles, to keep running away. You want to watch them now. And why is this shit still on my TV? Schreiber asked if that's not a little dangerous. Don't you think that's a little dangerous? Truth said he lives and sleeps dangerously. Yeah, watching this show is also dangerous for one's fucking health, too. And his third middle name is Dangerously. I urge anybody in creative, please. Every segment, every promo, every match, and the title needs to be burned in a pit of fire, never to be seen again. Get it the fuck off of television. I don't know why we still have this running around on Monday Night Raw. I really don't get it. We got Tozawa, world-class athlete. We got Drew Gulak, world-class athlete. They're teaming up against the Lucha House Party. The Lucha House Party were just a month ago in a SmackDown Tag Team title match against Cesaro and Nakamura. And now they're back on Monday Night Raw, chasing around the 24/7 title on a show that you have 0 tag teams on. There's no teams in the division. You want to use these guys in the 24/7 title segment. Imagine being Drew Gulak. This guy, back in August, was challenging AJ Styles for the Intercontinental title. I said it last night. I want to feel bad for Drew Gulak, but at the same time, I don't want to feel bad for Drew Gulak. I can't feel bad for Drew Gulak because this guy willingly signed a 5-year deal with the WWE to be treated like a fucking joke. To be treated like a clown. This guy was talking to an imaginary fucking figure last night on the pay-per-view. And now he's in a tag team match with Tozawa, who's dressed like a fucking idiot, against the Lucha House Party. I really don't understand who thinks this is funny. Who thinks this is funny? Who thinks this legitimately makes the show better? Everybody just willingly says, oh, it's there. Just enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy it for what it is. It's fucking garbage. It's trash. And it actually makes the show worse than what it is. And right now, they're pretty fucking bad. If you want my opinion on the 24/7 title shit, I would absolutely, in no fucking lifetime of mine, watch this shit with people in the same room. That's how terrible it is. Lucha House Party wins in 2 minutes. Dorado leapt onto Drew with a cross-body block for a 3 count. Awful. We got a Firefly Funhouse, which was probably one of the best things on the show. Bray Wyatt was in the Funhouse. He welcomed everybody to his Mad Tea Party. Alexa showed up with some tea. Rambling Rabbit was there. He was poured some tea by Alexa Bliss. She said that she poured him some very special tea. It was made with strawberry, peach, sugar, and a mystery ingredient. The Rabbit wanted to know what the mystery ingredient was. She giggled, and then she said it was arsenic. Can we hand some of this to Bruce Pritchard, please? I'd love to see what happens then. The Rabbit threw up. He died. Bray Wyatt and Bliss left. Bray said Bliss is fitting right in with the Firefly Funhouse. We're all a little mad down here, he said. Bliss asked how he knows that she's mad. He said she wouldn't have come to the Funhouse if she was not mad. So he said he protects her now, and there's only one thing left to do. He placed his hand on her forehead with the heel letters. She opened her eyes, and they were changed with black pupils and pink outlines. And in a very angry, sinister tone, she said, "Let him in." She then popped back to her normal self and cheerfully said the fun is just beginning because she'll have a fun chat with Randy Orton on a moment of piss. The Rabbit then sat up, came back to life, and Rambling Rabbit said, "I'm all right after all." So Fiend looked at the Randy Orton scepter. That was a tool of the trade in their feud several years ago. And behind him was a picture of the Wyatt family compound burning down because he has that hanging in the funhouse. So he looked at the Orton scepter and he slaughtered the rabbit with it, beating him over the head with it repeatedly. And he and Alexa Bliss laughed as Rambling Rabbit was being tortured. They smiled and waved goodbye at the end of the segment. This was more of the more disturbing Firefly Funhouse segments, but I'm really not that excited about a Randy Orton Bray Wyatt feud, folks. I don't know what you're thinking. I know I'm not. We'll talk about that at the end of the show because that's where The Fiend and Randy Orton were, I would say, not really face-to-face, but they were front to back. So we'll talk about that and what I think of their feud, which is being teased a little bit later. Charlie Caruso asked Limited Keith Lee, the Dragon Keith Lee. I don't know how you think or look at Keith Lee and think dragons. I don't really understand it. Bruce is really fucking with everybody, man. He's thinking of Bruce Lee, and he's trying to apply it to Keith Lee. It doesn't make any sense. This guy is an absolute joke on the main roster. Imagine. They gave him a nickname because his last name is Lee, and they're thinking of Bruce Lee. Give me a fucking break, folks. Charlie Caruso asked Bruce Lee backstage how he bounces back from questionable tactics used by his opponent last week. No, I will not be doing the Braun Strowman. Whee! Okay? I'm not falling out of my chair this week. Lee said he couldn't beat him clean, so instead of losing like a man, he went below the belt and took the cheap way out. He said next time he faces Braun, he'll show him a real monster. Sure thing, Mr. Lee. How are you going to do that when you are limited? I don't know. I don't really understand how he's going to show Braun Strowman anything when he's nothing more than limited, Keith Lee. You only have a certain fucking bandwidth that you have, Keith Lee. Keith Lee's got 4G, bro. You don't even have LTE. Give me a fucking break. You've reached your fucking data cap for the rest of the fucking month, clown. He said, prepare yourself because he's about to walk with Elias. Oh, really? You want to walk with Elias? That means you are just as much of a loser as everybody thinks you are. Nobody wants to walk with Elias. Only losers want to walk with Elias. Adam Pearce was backstage, the GM of Monday Night Raw. They won't tell you he's the GM, but he's actually the GM. Adam Pearce walked up to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Baszler said, as Raw team captain, she compiled a list of wrestlers who should be on their team. Pearce told her she's not the team captain. She should be. Baszler said she is the team captain, and she gave Pearce a list. Jax noticed that she wasn't on Baszler's list. Baszler said, of course, because she wanted the best team possible. So Shayna Baszler knows, man. I knew I loved that woman, man. Baszler asked when they would find out who was on the team. Pearce said by the end of the night, Baszler asked Jax if she was on her list, and Nia Jax says, well, wouldn't you like to know? And Jax walked away rolling her eyes. Elias was in the middle of the ring at the start of hour 2 with his guitar. He said he's feeling great and tasting sweet victory after last night. He said now it's time to celebrate Universal Truth, his new album, which, by the way, WWE uploaded to their YouTube channel. I urge you to not listen to it because it's fucking terrible. Just gonna tell that to everybody right now. It is awful. And he was in the ring talking about his new album. He said next on his list of beating Keith Lee, or is beating Keith Lee to earn a spot on the Raw Survivor Series team, he began to play, and then Keith Lee's generic theme music interrupted his concert in front of everybody. WWE actually dubbed into the virtual crowd, the dubbed fucking fake crowd, when Elias asked, who wants to walk with Elias? They actually had that queued up from the fake crowd. And I'm supposed to take this guy seriously, man. I can't listen to that. I really can't. A character like Elias needs that genuine crowd interaction. If I'm going to hear that every time he's out, man, this is not going to be a good run for Elias because he offers absolutely nothing on top of what he has right now. The crowd was literally everything for that Elias character. Keith Lee versus Elias. This is a Raw Survivor Series team qualifier. You know, imagine being Keith Lee. Imagine being Keith Lee and thinking, man, they're moving me up to the main roster. Imagine being Keith Lee and thinking you're going to be put in a prime position on the main roster. And here we are, man. Plans call for Keith Lee to battle Elias on Monday Night Raw. Man, if that was what the plan was, don't sign me up at all, bro. Seriously. I don't know who the fuck wanted to see Keith Lee versus Elias as a match with this guy being called up 2 months ago on Monday Night Raw. I guarantee you there's not one living single human being that asked or had asked for a Keith Lee versus Elias match on Monday Night Raw. Who would you like to see Keith Lee in the ring with? Oh, I think I'd love to see him in the ring with Elias. Give me a fucking break, folks. There's a reason why Keith Lee has failed on the main roster. There's a reason why Keith Lee does not feel like he did in NXT. And there's a reason why Keith Lee is dead on the main roster. You can blame Bruce Pritchard and WWE Creative. So, Keith Lee, this is the same guy that beat Randy Orton in fucking 5 minutes. Keith Lee struggled with Elias in a 9-minute match. Now, I get it. They got to make Elias look a little strong. But this is Keith Lee we're talking about. If WWE was all in on Keith Lee, this guy would have been bulldozing through people on the main roster. This guy struggled in the majority of this match against fucking Elias. Now you know why people don't take Keith Lee seriously. Elias shoved Lee into the ring post. It was a nice spot where Keith Lee did a diving crossbody on Elias. Elias then leapt off the top rope with a double axe handle. We seen Elias give Lee a neck breaker for a 2 count. He then climbed to the top rope. And then as Elias got to the top rope, Jeff Hardy's music played. Jeff Hardy didn't come out. This distracted Elias enough for Keith Lee to knock him off the top rope and deliver a spirit bomb for the 1, 2, 3. So let me explain to you how much of a blithering idiot Elias is, man. Number one, he thinks somehow that Jeff Hardy had run him over in a vehicle over the summer on SmackDown, which it was not. Braun Strowman was out there, and there were several people out there seeing the culprit leave the scene of the crime have red hair. Now, I'm no fucking mathematician, but Jeff Hardy doesn't have red fucking hair. Number one. Number two, the guy suffers from stupid idiot syndrome. He's in a match with Keith Lee. He's about to put Keith Lee away with his finishing move. And he just sits on the top rope. You know, sitting on the top rope. And he's looking up the aisleway at Jeff Hardy, waiting for Jeff Hardy to come out because his theme music goes off. And he's got Keith Lee in the middle of the ring beaten. But he doesn't do anything about it. So Elias is a fucking idiot. Elias is a stupid idiot. And Elias clearly doesn't give about being on the Raw Survivor Series team. There you go. What happened? Keith Lee wins in 9 minutes. As if anybody fucking cares with the spirit bomb. Moving on. Her business was backstage. They gave a hard time to some poor fucking clown backstage for using a public bathroom that they claimed was theirs. The guy ran away scared. And that's when we got Retribution versus the Hurt Business booked tonight in a 4-on-4 elimination match on Raw. Caruso interviewed Randy Orton backstage. She asked if he's concerned about The Fiend and if The Fiend will show up on a moment of piss later. Orton said he's not concerned at all. He said, if you're the big dog, are we still calling him that? Maybe Randy Orton hasn't watched SmackDown in the last fucking 2 months. The big dog? It's the tribal chief, motherfucker. Get it right. The big dog. This isn't Vince McMahon's pussy version of Roman Reigns anymore, the big dog. What the fuck are you talking about, big dog? The Fiend, or the former champ Drew McIntyre. There's only one Randy Orton. He said the only ones who should be concerned are those who cross Orton. Darnell in the chat says that was Ryan Ward. Oh, really? So I could see where his priorities lie. He's using the bathroom on Monday Night Raw instead of writing the fucking script for the show. It's nice. It's nice. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hurt Business kicked him out of the fucking bathroom. Get back to work, geek! Write me a fucking show! Hurt Business, they were in the ring. MVP had the microphone. He said Retribution first arrived. When they first arrived, everyone ran except for the Hurt Business. Everybody ran away from Retribution. We don't run, he said. Lashley said they didn't see Retribution as a threat, but rather an opportunity. He said Hurt Business is an asset for Raw, while Retribution is a liability. Oh, yeah, really? Retribution is Bruce Pritchard's personal playground, just as he is getting back at Paul Heyman. That's what he's using to get back at Paul Heyman for whatever reason. And mock and fucking belittle Paul Heyman. MVP said they struck a deal with the higher-ups at WWE to take it to Retribution. And once they solve that problem once and for all, which, by the way, MVP, I'm not sure if you're watching the show, bro. I think that problem has already been taken care of. Once they solve that problem once and for all, they'll be looking to collect payment. And then Shelton Benjamin says, and we want our payment in gold. So, right then and there, the Hurt Business has entered the tag team realm on Monday Night Raw. And that should be good. That should be good. Cedric and Shelton Benjamin going after the New Day, man. Sign me up. Sign me up. I don't know what we do after that. I'm not really anticipating 6 months of Hurt Business versus the New Day. But if it gets Cedric and Shelton with some gold, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So we got the Hurt Business, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, and Cedric Alexander versus Retribution. Mustafa Ali, Slapjack, T-Bar, and Mace. Mia Yim, Reckoning, was on the outside. Lashley opened up against T-Bar. Samoa Joe was talking about Retribution feeling overlooked. They're overlooked, he says. By overlooked, do you mean buried, Mr. Joe? Couple of minutes in, Ali broke up a cover on Slap Dick, Slap Nuts, Slap Fuck, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Reckoning stood on the ring and distracted MVP. Now, I didn't know what the fuck was going on here, man. It was almost as if she was poisoned by fucking Scarecrow in Batman. The way she was acting. She got up on the apron, she jumped into the ring, and it was MVP in the ring. She starts scratching her skin like she had a bad rash, and she had bugs crawling on her. That's exactly the way she was. Imagine somebody acting like that, rolling around in the ring, man. I thought she was pretending to have a heart attack. The referee even said, Mia, are you okay? He didn't even call her Reckoning. He called her Mia. That's not her name. Well, it is her name, but it's not her name in this group. She was rolling around on the floor. She was throwing a fit. She was pretending like she was fucking being possessed. And then I figured out what it was. She realized that she had 2 more years left on her WWE contract. That's why she was acting that way. She was pretty much telling Vince through subliminal messages, get me out of here! Please! Please! So all of this caused a distraction. Slapjack then actually rolled up MVP to eliminate him. So Slapjack got a win. When you look at the Retribution guys, folks, Slapjack is the only one in Retribution in this group's history to have a pinfall victory over anybody on WWE television. There you go. JD stats right there. Slapdick is the only one in Retribution to have a victory on Monday Night Raw. So he eliminated MVP. Lashley speared Slapjack and pinned him shortly thereafter. So now it's 3-on-3. T-Bar and Lashley brawled at ringside. They brawled into the crowd, quote unquote. They got counted out. So now it's down to Cedric, Shelton, Mace, and Ali. A minute later, Shelton finished Mace with a pay dirt after a blind tag in, and Ali was all by himself. So Shelton stood up, smiled at Ali. Shelton took it to Ali with a fallaway slam. He tagged Cedric back in. They played up the history between Cedric and Ali, dating back to 205 Live for the Cruiserweight title. Cedric kicked Ali to the floor, and they talked about like they were best friends. They battled. There's history there. Ali then got desperate, took a steel chair from the timekeeper's area, hit Cedric with a chair. He got himself disqualified, and then Ali fled because after that, the entire Hurt Business came down and wanted a piece of Ali, and he ran away like a bitch, did Ali. And that was it, folks. WWE, as of last week, wasn't enough. After the Hurt Business killing them last week wasn't enough. After Bray Wyatt killing them last week wasn't enough. WWE had to beat Retribution again 3 weeks before the Survivor Series in an elimination match on Monday Night Raw. That was unadvertised, by the way. So I ask, what is going to happen at the Survivor Series if we even get Retribution to the Survivor Series? Are we going to see this again? Is there going to be some sort of stake at the Survivor Series? And I'm not talking about a fucking porterhouse or a fucking filet mignon. I'm talking about legitimate stakes at Survivor Series. If Retribution loses, they got to unmask and go back to their former fucking characters. I'd actually start contemplating storylines and booking storylines to get these guys to be in some sort of dream sequence as if they were fucking manipulated or brainwashed somehow, that they were put into a trance. Go out there and hire Chris Angel to come to Monday Night Raw and fucking put these guys in a trance. They acted as rebellious geeks on Monday Night Raw. Then he snaps his fingers, and they go back to being Dominic Dijakovic, Shane Thorne, Mia Yim, Theo Madden. And Mustafa Ali could go back to fucking main event battling Ricochet, where nobody sees him wrestling at all. Something's got to be done. WWE just needs to wash their hands of this situation and cut their losses. They really do. They may be. And everybody laughed. Oh, give it a chance. Give it a chance. Give what a chance? You give me a fucking chance. Listen to me. I'll never fucking steer you in the wrong direction. Give what a chance? Everybody says this is going to be worse than Nexus. I was one of the first people to see this that said that. Now what? Now what are we looking at? They make Nexus look like the greatest fucking faction in the history of pro wrestling. Dead. Dead. Ali should save his breath. Nothing that Ali says is going to help these guys. You can tweet all you want. You can fucking cut a promo on anything you want. Nothing that you say will help you and this group. You are dead. Dead. Fucking dead. Absolutely finished. Backstage, Angel Garza. He approached Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke with a rose. Charlie Caruso nowhere to be found. They just dropped that storyline for no reason. Angel Garza X Mandy Rose. I'm glad that they got Angel Garza on the show, but we get the fucking Miz in 3 segments on this fucking piece of shit show. Really? Angel Garza's on Raw and he's giving roses to Mandy Rose. That's the extent of Angel Garza to you? He asked if Otis and Mandy are still close. Mandy said Otis had a rough 24 hours after losing his Money in the Bank briefcase and his best friend, but he'll bounce back. She said they're still close. Jax and Baszler walked up to them. Garza told Jax, hello, beautiful. Come on, Garza, really? Your taste in women went from a 10 to a fucking 1 in like 3 seconds. Come on. Hello, beautiful, she said. Or he said, rather. She said, save it. We have business. Baszler waved him away. Jax yanked away his rose and smelled it. And she smiled. She then told Rose and Brooke if they end up on their Survivor Series team, at which point Mandy said, your team. Brooke said, you mean our team. Dana, we're not talking about fucking catering here, okay? This is legit big girl stuff. If you want to go talk fucking catering and trade recipes, go sit next to fucking Mojo Rawley and catering. Our team. You don't belong on a fucking team. Brooke told them to watch their titles. You're telling Nia Jax to watch her titles, man. Are you serious? Jax said she thinks they're being punked. Baszler looked at Jax and said, seriously, Garza? Whatever. Whatever, man. Drew McIntyre versus The Miz. Drew McIntyre versus The Miz, man. We're going to go over what happened here in just a second. We don't have much left of this show. Looking at what happened with the rest of the show, that's pretty much it. We got not too much left to cover here, but I got to go over my friends over at Blue Chew, man. How many of you guys in the chat? Give me a 1 in the chat. If you guys watch this show with your wife, with your girlfriend, how many of you guys have significant others that know you watch me after the show is over? 1 in the chat. If you are one of those guys that gave me a 1 in the chat, I know that you are feeling defeated. You feel unmotivated. You feel like Bruce Pritchard is leaving you just void of any feeling after a show like this tonight. Don't let Bruce Pritchard get you down, bro. Don't let Bruce Pritchard leave you unmotivated at the end of the show, man. It's happened to me. He's done it to me. You can't let him do it. You can't let him do it to you. But if it does happen, if Bruce does let you down and you let him get to you, I got a solution for you. Blue Chew. BlueChew.com is the way to go, man. Now you guys can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You guys can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they are chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill. So you guys can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. I know you guys want to benefit from more confidence where it counts. Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your overall performance. It's prescribed online by licensed physicians. You don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at the pharmacy, and it ships right to your door in a very discreet package. And since they're made in the USA, Blue Chew prepares and ships direct. They're cheaper than a pharmacy, and best of all, there's no awkwardness at all. Right now, I got a special deal for everybody listening to the podcast right here for the Monday Night Raw post show on Off the Script. Get your first shipment free on me because I love you guys. And I don't want you to suffer from Bruce Pritchard on Monday night, man. Use code JD at checkout. All you guys got to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. Blue Chew for you free using code JD. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, and faster choice. I want to thank them for supporting the podcast right here on Off the Script. Once again, that's BlueChew.com. Use code JD at checkout for your free sample. Love it, man. Love my friends over at Blue Chew. Love Glenn Rubenstein, man. Good peoples over there. Good peoples. Drew McIntyre versus The Miz, man, with John Morrison. Complete throwaway match. The Miz is a fucking trash-ass performer. I really mean that. When The Miz is on TV, man, my overall interest in the product just drops. Lower than it was at the beginning of the show. Awful. Drew went after Miz very aggressively at the start. Morrison interfered, giving Miz an opening. Miz shoved Drew into the ringside steps. He then went after Drew's knee in the ring. Drew made a comeback. Miz sidestepped him, threw him to the floor. Morrison went after Drew with the Money in the Bank briefcase, tried to hit him, but Drew kicked it out of his hands and then threw the briefcase up the stage to God knows where. Then he went after the Miz. Miz rolled him up for a small package at one point. Drew hit a Claymore out of nowhere for the win. And then all of a sudden they showed Matthew McConaughey, the actor, the Hollywood actor, watching on a monitor with his two sons. Oh, great. Now WWE is shilling fucking Hollywood actors, man. Oh, look, it's cool to be inside the WWE Thunderdome. We got Goldberg, we got Mark Henry, we got Double J, Jeff Jarrett, we got fucking Brie Bella with Birdie. Now we got Matthew McConaughey in the fucking Thunderdome, man. Who gives a shit? And Matthew McConaughey was only there because he got a new book out, apparently. Who cares? WWE shilling Hollywood actors because they got new books out. Why don't you shill writing a good fucking show? That's what I want to know. This did not make The Miz look good at all. If The Miz is supposed to be taken as a threat for the WWE Championship, this is not the way to go about it. Seriously. I don't know why The Miz... This match was only made out of the intro to the show and had nothing to do with the WWE title. The Miz was targeting the wrong guy. You want Miz to look like a legit threat for the WWE title when he cashes it in. Why does he need to be here? He's got what he wanted, so let him just sit back and wait and plan his next move. If his next move is being a loser, then that defeats the purpose of him getting the fucking briefcase. But that's the way Vince McMahon books it. Now he's got the briefcase, so Vince, in Vince's mind, he thinks The Miz can afford a loss, and a loss, and a loss, and a loss, because he's got the briefcase. That's the way they think. It's not the way I think. New Day was backstage. They had red Solo cups. They were dressed as the Street Profits. They did the Street Profits better than the Street Profits. They said champions will take on champions at Survivor Series. They broke the news that they will battle the Street Profits at the Survivor Series. Asuka ran up to them and was excited and said that she wanted to smoke with them. Kofi announced that Asuka would face Sasha Banks. Orton will face Reigns. In walked the Hurt Business. MVP announced Lashley would face Sami Zayn. He then added that they have their sights on the tag team titles. Xavier and Kofi laughed. Asuka then sang New Day Rocks with the New Day. So that's that. So the tag team titles clearly are moving in a direction after the Survivor Series, but it's only going to result in the same shit. It's only going to result in the same shit. They're just going to go around in circles. Nothing new is going to come out of this. We got the Hurt Business versus the New Day. I guess that's something new, but you got to be thinking about what happens after that. What happens after that? There's no other teams on the show. You legitimately, these are the only two fucking teams on the show. Legitimately. Miz and Morrison are doing their fucking thing with the Money in the Bank. They aren't even a fucking tag team anymore. As far as I'm concerned, they were never a tag team. As far as I'm concerned. So, we got Drew with Kayla Braxton. She asked if his win was the first step on his way to reclaiming the WWE title after beating The Miz. Drew said he'll take as many steps as it takes to reclaim his championship. He said he guaranteed Orton will have a moment of piss tonight. And that was it. Adam Pearce and Pat Buck were in the ring. He said it's time to meet the 5 women who will represent Monday Night Raw. Out came Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Out came Mandy and Dana. Jax told Pearce to slow down and let her declare the final teammate since she is the team captain. Baszler said, no, she's the team captain. Pearce then clarified that there will be a fatal 4-way match to decide the final member of the team. Lana Peyton Royce, Nikki Cross, and Lacey Evans. These were the 4. Now, if I'm Nia Jax, if I'm Shayna Baszler, if I'm anybody on that Raw team and I'm looking at my team, if I'm looking at Dana Brooke, I don't believe I have to have Dana Brooke on my team. I don't believe I have to have a choice of one of these 4 on my team. If I'm going to pick anybody from this Fatal 4-Way, I'm picking Nikki Cross. Honestly. I honestly thought Charlotte Flair was going to come out. I really did. I thought Charlotte Flair was going to come out. She was going to be in this match. She was going to win. And then she was going to be declared the team captain of Team Raw. Thank God we didn't, man. I guess her fucking processor isn't ready yet. She's got the most up-to-date advanced NVIDIA fucking processor in her. She's got the ultimate fucking lithium-ion battery she's still waiting on, man. They're putting it together. Lana wins in 8 minutes. Imagine that. Lana wins a spot on the Women's Survivor Series team. Now, the one thing that I thought about during this match, if you thought that I took notes during this match, you must be a fucking moron. The one thing that I thought about this match is, my God, man, the Raw Women's division is absolutely fucking terrible. It is awful. Absolutely terrible in every sense of the word. This is your Raw Women's division, folks. The team that is the Raw Women's team in Survivor Series is your Raw Women's division. Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose. I think Mandy Rose is great, but she ain't the same Mandy Rose that we all love back on SmackDown. Nia Jax, Lana. So late in the match, there was a stacked suplex spot with Royce taking Lacey and Nikki out of the corner. Avalanche suplex of sorts. Lana was on the outside. She yanked Peyton Royce out of the ring and then went into the ring and scored a pinfall on Nikki Cross. Nia Jax was on the outside, shocked. Lana was celebrating in the ring. She went to go hug Nia Jax. Nia Jax held her arms out for a hug. She went to go hug Nia Jax. And then I'll give you one guess as to what came next, folks. 6 weeks in a row, Nia Jax has put Lana through a table. If you think WWE is going to skip a week with this comedic stunt with Lana, you must be dumb. They will continue it as long as they continue to get a laugh out of it. As long as Miro is employed with AEW, they will continue to do it. I guarantee you she's on the Raw Survivor Series team. I guarantee you she gets eliminated and Nia Jax puts her through a table at the show. Or if Nia Jax is the team captain and doesn't want Lana on the team, I'm sure that Nia Jax would eliminate Lana herself and leave Raw with a one-woman disadvantage. That's what she'd do. Just so that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard and can get a nice little laugh out of it. Charlie Caruso was backstage. She once again tracked down Randy Orton. And asked Orton if he still planned to show up on a Moment of Bliss. He said yes. She said it sounded like a threat on the Funhouse that the Fiend is showing up. He then said, I'm not afraid. I'm not scared of the Fiend. And then Orton said he has no problem introducing the Fiend to the 3 most dangerous letters in all of entertainment. Sports entertainment. RKO. Then we got Sheamus versus Matt Riddle. This was an excellent fucking match, man. These guys in 10 minutes absolutely beat the ever-living shit out of each other. Really good stuff, man. This is why we need a mid-card title on one of these guys. And this is what the mid-card needs to be. This level of competition. This was excellent. This might end up being one of the best matches of the entire week. Awesome stuff here. Sheamus was in control after a short commercial break. Scored a 2 count after a backbreaker, Irish Curse backbreaker. Riddle came back with some kicks, followed by a Broton for a near fall. They battled back and forth, exchanging near falls. Riddle countered an Irish Curse again, applied a sleeper hold. Sheamus shoved Riddle into the corner, into the turnbuckle to break free. While Riddle was still on his back, nice ring awareness there by Sheamus. He went for a bro kick, Riddle ducked, and then German suplex Sheamus into a bridge for a near fall. Riddle lifted Sheamus, but Sheamus slipped free when Riddle's back gave out. He landed the bro kick. and went for the 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Sheamus wins in 10 minutes. Excellent, heavy, hard-hitting match by these two guys. Awesome stuff. Sheamus is on the Survivor Series team. Matt Riddle, it is very, very difficult for me to sit here and not think that Matt Riddle is not going to be on the Survivor Series team. The way I look at it, the way I look at it, I'm not saying WWE looks at it this way. The way that I look at it is if WWE is choosing you to represent Raw, then they obviously give a shit about you. Now, Matt Riddle was not chosen for Monday Night Raw, which leads me to believe that Matt Riddle has lost to AJ Styles on Raw because he got drafted from SmackDown to Raw, lost to AJ Styles, lost to Sheamus. Matt Riddle is racking up losses. How long before we start an online petition to get Matt Riddle in a better position on Monday Night Raw? It is very difficult for me to sit here and not think that Matt Riddle is not being punished for Candy Cartwright and the lawsuit that she has pending on WWE, suing WWE $10 million each. Gabe Sapolsky, Evolve, Vince, and Matt Riddle. $40 million she's suing WWE for. It is very difficult for me to not think that Matt Riddle is not being punished on Monday Night Raw. Because why would you take this guy and bury him like that? This is exactly what everybody was afraid of. And I'm not sure if you want to do that. How long before Matt Riddle's contract is up? He's been in the WWE for 2 years now, right? 2021, I believe his contract is up. Unless he re-signed a new deal, I don't think so. You want to risk losing this guy to AEW? Because I'm sure he'll go exactly where the fuck he wants to go. AEW, New Japan? I'm sure New Japan would love to have him. You continue booking this guy like this, there will be no Matt Riddle in WWE. You think he's going to continue taking this bullshit? Give me a fucking break, man. Sheamus wins in 10 minutes. Matt Riddle is being punished. You don't need Meltzer, you don't need fucking Wrestling Inc. to figure that one out for you. Matt Riddle is being punished on Raw. A moment of piss. I gotta call it the right way. Bliss was in the middle of the ring, sitting down. She looked very creepy with her ponytails and sadistic smile. She introduced Randy Orton as the 14-time WWE champion, world champion. So Orton was in the ring and stared at Bliss, who smiled back at him. Orton stood on the second rope, doing his entrance. He held up the title. Bliss told Orton, "It's okay to sit." Randy said, No. It's much better if I stand. She asked if he was surprised he won last week. Orton said he's won many titles before, but he's not surprised. Why would I be surprised by winning the title on Sunday? He asked if she has a surprise for her. She said no. She just wanted the new champ to be on her show, especially after he and Drew burned the house down. Orton then said, there it is. There it is, he says. Burn the house down. All right, Bliss, where is Bray Wyatt? Where is The Fiend? I know he's close, so I'm going to ask you one time and one time only. Alexa Bliss laughed. Drew came out, ran to the ring, went immediately to the ring to go fight Randy Orton. They exchanged punches. Bliss was sitting on the turnbuckle laughing. Drew stomped away at Orton in the corner. Bliss was laughing and pointing. The lights began to go out. You heard all the sound effects of The Fiend inside the Thunderdome. He showed up on the stage. Randy Orton was backing away from the fight with Drew McIntyre. He was backing up on the stage. He had the WWE title over his shoulder. He knew The Fiend was behind him. He did one of these numbers where he looked back and he knew The Fiend was there. The Fiend did not move. The Fiend did not lay a finger on Randy Orton. Drew McIntyre was then walking up the ramp, so Randy Orton was sandwiched with The Fiend and Drew McIntyre on the ramp. He ran back at Drew McIntyre because that's the fight he wanted. He didn't want to fight with The Fiend. So he and Drew McIntyre continued to brawl, and they brawled around ringside. Drew threw Orton into the ringside steps. Then he slammed his head on the announce desk. And then the commentators said that Drew McIntyre is obsessed with getting his WWE title back. Orton came back and then slammed Drew on the desk. He mounted Drew, punching him away. And the show came to a close with Randy Orton punching away at Drew McIntyre. I don't know who you are out there. I don't know who you are out there that's excited about a Randy Orton Fiend match. I said things on the podcast last night about Randy Orton that I don't really necessarily believe. Is Randy Orton boring? He's boring to an extent. Randy Orton has been one of the best heels in all of WWE in 2020. I wouldn't say this is his best work. This is the best work that he's done in a very long time, okay? Randy Orton is boring when he's in the ring with somebody who is equally as boring as he is. I don't think WWE did Randy Orton any favors with the Drew McIntyre feud because it was something that we got month after month after month after month. We got it for 4 months. We got it for so long. It was going into SummerSlam and it never stopped. Then they included Keith Lee. It never stopped. It was always something that WWE continued to book. They didn't do any favors for Randy Orton with that Drew McIntyre feud. They didn't do any favors with Drew McIntyre either. So they took the title of Drew McIntyre. It's now on Randy Orton. Randy Orton clearly is obviously going to be groomed as the new champion for Edge. I don't see Randy Orton losing that championship at all. Otherwise, why would you put it on him? But I don't know why we're looking at a Fiend world title match. I don't really understand why anybody would be excited about that. These two guys had one of the single worst matches in WrestleMania history, and you want to go back and revisit that. I'm not saying anything about the actual build. The feud itself and the build and the story is there. That I'm excited about. That makes sense. That is clearly somebody that Bray Wyatt should be targeting. So I know the verbal exchange, I know the feud, I know the build is going to be class. As far as a storytelling aspect, the in-ring match between the two, I have absolutely no interest in. And if you're going to do a great story and have it be ruined by a terrible match, I won't even bother doing it to begin with. To be quite honest with you. Now, I don't know why anybody in this company thinks Bray Wyatt in a world title feud is the right way to go. I mean, haven't we learned our fucking lesson? This guy won the WWE Universal title twice. And in both situations, WWE did nothing with Bray Wyatt. In fact, him being Universal Champion absolutely killed his character. He is lucky he is still here right now. And Bray Wyatt is only hanging on to relevancy because of Alexa Bliss. And if you don't like what I just said, blow me. Bray Wyatt is only hanging on to any sort of relevancy in the WWE because now Alexa Bliss is a part of the act. If he didn't have her, she would be doing God knows what in the women's division. Probably still with Nikki Cross. And he would be fucking dead. Dead. This guy beat Seth Rollins for the Universal title. Had a feud with Seth Rollins that nearly killed his entire fucking career because WWE fucking jizzed early on that one. And then they give him the title and they drop the title to Goldberg. They have him drop the title to Goldberg, which undoubtedly fucking killed any sort of momentum Bray Wyatt had, and he's still feeling the remnants of that to this day. Then he wins the title back after a long, drawn-out feud with Braun Strowman that went nowhere, and he held the title for 1 week. Then Roman Reigns shows up, takes the title back, and Bray Wyatt was used as a transitional champion. Now you want to put him in a world title picture that will include Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Edge, I'm assuming AJ Styles at some point. And you want to put Bray Wyatt back in a world title picture. Why are you putting him back in a world title picture when this guy, A, should not be challenging for world titles just based off his prior history with fucking said titles, and B, why does the character need a world championship? The character should just be there to tell good stories and get revenge on everybody that did him wrong in the past. titles are not necessary. So why are we booking Bray Wyatt with the same mentality of fucking up and making mistakes for a third time in a row now? You didn't learn your lesson from Rollins, and you didn't learn your lesson from Bill Goldberg and Roman Reigns? I don't really understand the logic here. Randy Orton's not dropping that title before WrestleMania. You gave him that championship for a reason, and that reason is Edge. Edge is not due back till next year, so Randy Orton's not losing the title. So why are you feuding him and Bray Wyatt? If Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt have a one-on-one match, you're just creatively booking Bray Wyatt into a corner that he can't come back from. And I don't get this Drew McIntyre shit. He lost. Get to the back of the line. Now, maybe this is WWE's way of giving us a Bray Wyatt title match without actually having him take a loss. Maybe we get Randy Orton versus The Fiend versus Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series, and someone else will captain Team Raw. Who? I don't know. Maybe it'll be Braun Strowman. Who the fuck knows? We may be looking at a triple threat match. I'm not interested in that, but at least Bray Wyatt won't take a fucking pin. I don't really get it. Actually, that's not even going to be a Survivor Series match. He's fighting Roman Reigns. So I have to wait till TLC. Drew McIntyre's going to captain Survivor Series. Then we'll do TLC, triple threat match. That's exactly what it's looking like. Pardon me, I forgot the rules of the Survivor Series. I'm booking Survivor Series on the Raw side. I completely forgot Roman Reigns and Randy Orton were the match at Survivor Series. So that's going to be your TLC match. It looks like WWE's planting seeds for TLC. Triple threat. I don't know who's interested in this at all. I really don't. It's not really what I would do right out of the gate with Randy Orton. I think it's too soon. In fact, I would not feud these. I would not feud these two until Randy Orton drops that title after WrestleMania. I think WWE again is jumping the gun on a Bray Wyatt feud, and it's only going to result in him losing. You can't put this guy in situations knowing that he's going to lose and that is the only outcome possible. Have Randy drop the title first before you start booking fucking historical feuds with the fucking Wyatt family and Randy Orton. And going back and burning the fucking Wyatt family compound and telling that story. I don't know why they don't get it and we do. I don't really understand it. That is all I got for you guys here on the show, man. Monday Night Raw was a fucking shit show, as usual. Illogical booking. WWE being negligent with talent. Same shit. Really nothing else to say on the show. It's the same old shit every week, man. Really is. Guys, if you came here for the review, I am about to read the Super Chats. You guys can hang out if you want. If not, I will see you back live on the channel, on the podcast with Jesse on Wednesday. We got the Eliminator Tournament on AEW continuing. So you guys are out. If you guys are heading out, thank you guys so much. Hit that thumbs up on the way out. I'd really appreciate it. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. Mouthmasker.com/OTS. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Bonfire. And Blue Chew, man. BlueChew.com. Use that code JD for your free Blue Chew sample, man. Thank you guys for the love in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys. Let's read through these Super Chats, man. Super Chats are open if you guys want to get them on in. Get them on in. Take a sip of my cold beverage here, bro. Jacob Donnelly with a $5 Super Chat. Thank you, man. It's official. The Spirit Squad are better than Retribution. At least they actually won matches. I would have to agree with you, bro. The Spirit Squad is better than fucking Retribution, bro. Get rid of them. Jacob also says, find it hilarious that NXT appeared to not be involved in the Survivor Series. Just proves even more they were trying to one-up AEW, and it failed. Of course, I'll be talking about that on the podcast this weekend. I did actually have it in my notes, and I just didn't really give a shit about mentioning it here because I think everybody is under the impression now anyway that the only reason why NXT was involved in the Survivor Series last year was because WWE wanted to get the one-up on AEW, and they did for 1 week. And they tried to generate interest in NXT through the main roster, and it failed. And knowing now that it didn't work then, they're not doing it again. And NXT is a lot worse than they were last year, so I'm glad NXT is not a part of the Survivor Series. I am glad they are not a part of the Survivor Series. Those triple threat matches last year were fucking ridiculous. Really. I think the only things that I really enjoyed last year out of the Survivor Series was Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole and Keith Lee and Roman Reigns. That was it. JP5150. $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Fuck my life. Monday night garbage made my head hurt. So illogical. I have not felt this much pain to my sanity since playing Destiny 2 missions on the moon. Listen, bro. The moon wasn't that bad, man. I enjoyed my moon missions. But thank you for the $5 super chat. I will be on Beyond Light, no question. Gregory Benson with a $9.99 super chat. I have a new name for trash cans. Instead of calling them trash cans, we should start calling them Monday Night Raws, because that's exactly what this show continues to be every single week. Bro! I use Monday Night Raw every night then. I just took out Monday Night Raw before. Gregory Benson, $9.99. I have a new name. Actually, I'm reading Gregory's all over again. It was so good, I'm reading it all over again. Thank you for the $9.99, brother. Saeed, $10 Canadian. So NXT was involved last year as a desperate measure to fight AEW. So much for brand warfare. Also, Lana going through the table is no longer funny, and Retribution keep getting buried even further. Yeah, Lana's going to continue going through tables, bro. Get used to it. And yes, AEW, NXT was all a desperate attempt to get NXT over AEW, bro. And they denied every fucking thing about it. Jericho, 8131. $5 super chat. Thank you, man. Which was the biggest creative failure this year? Otis as Money in the Bank, Raw Underground, The Draft, or Retribution? Man, I gotta say, it's Retribution and then Otis. I'm not blaming anybody in Retribution, and I'm not blaming Otis. It's all WWE, it's all Vince, it's all Bruce. That's a good poll question. I'm actually gonna put that on Twitter. Jericho. Thank you for that, brother. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Raw Underground was just a desperate attempt at some interest on a dying show. And The Draft, The Draft is a failure every fucking year, man. They don't take it seriously. Bradley Robinette with a $2 super chat. Raw sucks. Retribution is crap. JD is number one in the IWC. Thank you, brother. Lakefront Studios with a $9.99 super chat. Vince and Bruce can't write a good show on Raw and SmackDown in a timely manner. They made sure Lana went through a table. Yet another waste of 3 hours. Trash can emoji. Mr. Cake with a $2 and a $5 super chat. Mia Yim has to fight even harder for her trademark. Drew Gulak involved in the 24/7 title is sad because he was being set up for the IC title picture on SmackDown. What an awful fucking use of Drew Gulak. Kashmir 93, $5 super chat. Man, you really want that Edge and Orton match for the title. Drew did not deserve to lose the title for a match with two dinosaurs who have crap matches. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Kashmir. Go back and watch the greatest wrestling match that never was at Backlash. It was hardly two dinosaurs that had a crap match, bro. Seriously. Stop with the fucking bullshit, really. Randy Orton and Edge had a 4-star plus match at Backlash. If you didn't like that match, then you don't like pro wrestling. I'm sorry. Was it overrated? Yes. Was it overhyped? Yes. Was the tagline fucking ridiculous? Yes. But Randy Orton and Edge had a great match. I never said I want that match for the title. I only say the things that I know WWE is going to do. WWE wants to make WrestleMania the biggest WrestleMania they possibly can in a COVID situation. If Edge and Randy Orton is going to be a part of that, that's what they want. Kenley Pierre, $10 super chat. Adam Cole, I urge you to run now to AEW, but if not, I hope you go to SmackDown and survive. Fiend will be buried 10 times over by Orton, and why Alexa would still be with this loser, Wyatt, after this feud. Adam Cole needs to go to SmackDown. In fact, I think he would, man. I think Daniel Bryan wants a piece of Adam Cole on SmackDown. Lauren Hutton, $1.99 with a thumbs up emoji. Thank you, Lauren. Justin Strickland with a $9.99 super chat. Not only are they making Elias look like an idiot by having him think Hardy ran him over, but they made Charlie Caruso look like an idiot when she said the culprit is still out there to Elias. That's Mr. Bruce Logic Gap Pritchard. He don't even realize what the fuck he wrote over the summer, man. James0210 with a $5 super chat. If Retribution gets buried any further, they'll break through the other side of the earth. I think they're already there, bro. To be honest with you, I think they're already there. Mr. Cake with a $2 super chat. If Lana is sole survivor, I will die from laughter. You and Jesse put that out there in the universe, bro. It's gonna happen. Retro 90s Kid with a $3 super chat and a $10 super chat. He has a chicken emoji giving a thumbs up. And then he says, rule number 1, my JD goons, follow and watch the IWC Tribal Chief. Me and my brother Tim are the day one-ish fans of JD from NY206 from Texas. Keep it up, JD. Have a cold one on me, brother. Number 1 on YouTube always. Thank you, Retro 90s Kid. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to you and your brother Tim. Thank you for being day one-ish fans of the podcast. Bradley Xavier with an Australian $2 super chat. Do Keith Lee versus Samoa Joe at Mania in a First Blood? No. Keith Lee versus Brock Lesnar is the match. Jesse, go to sleep. Go to sleep, man. He says, would you wrap this shit up so I can stop dealing with these assholes in the chat? I'm looking at the chat, bro. Go to sleep. I know you got Britt Baker to dream about, bro. I know you are going to dream about her filling your cavities later. Winston Williams with a $14.99 super chat. Why is NXT not a part of the Survivor Series? AEW. I just talked about it about 5 minutes ago, bro. Yes, AEW. Ricardo Linnell with a $10 super chat. Watch, he's going to call me an asshole now. I have an idea to make Raw more watchable. They must hire JD to be on USA doing a live reaction to the show. That would make Raw watchable. Long live OTS and the tribal chief of the IWC. Thank you, Ricardo. Montrell Rather with a $5 super chat. Is it just me, or does Alexa Bliss's new gimmick kind of remind you of Baby from House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects? Bro, go to sleep. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I appreciate your work. I would not be surprised by that, Montreal. Coming from the mind of Bray Wyatt, absolutely. Mr. Cake with a $10 bomb. NXT, not on Survivor Series. Punishment for not beating AEW. Real shame because we're losing out on matches like Asuka, Sasha, Io. The 2020 women's team would have been more menacing. Candice, Rhea, Shotzi, Ember, Dakota. Bro. Who cares? Really? I mean, who cares? I'm glad they're not a part of the Survivor Series. I'm glad. Kevin Wedderburn with a $5 super chat. Miz's skull-crushing finale is one of the worst finishing moves ever. When he actually hits it, he does a good job. Honestly. It could be good. He used to do it good. But the Miz's offense is just one of the worst in all of pro wrestling. Honestly. Justin Striplin with a $9.99 super chat. The fact that Lana is the 5th member of the Raw Women's Survivor Series team is complete trash. Also, after what happens at the end, I'm predicting Orton versus Fiend versus McIntyre TLC match. I said the same thing, Justin. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. The Raw Women's division is fucking terrible, man. Anybody want to tell you otherwise, don't listen to them. They're lying to you. Anybody who thinks a Randy Orton versus Fiend feud is great, they're lying to you and their audience as well. Oh, I know Hoot fell asleep. Hoot definitely went to sleep. Hoot has work in the morning. Chemo the Therapist with a $5 super chat. I love what you said about Goldberg yesterday. It's the truest statement I've ever heard you say on Off the Script. Goldberg is a very selfish man. Oh, you mean on Saturday? You must have watched the podcast yesterday, buddy. I uploaded it on Saturday. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Yes, Goldberg is very selfish. Mo Camera, Canadian $6.99. I hope The Fiend destroys Randy and becomes WWE Champion. I love The Fiend despite what you think. Well, you love a loser, brother. You love a fucking loser. And The Fiend will not destroy Randy Orton and become the WWE Champion because we'll be right back in the same boat that we were in earlier this year. Bray Wyatt is allergic to titles. Hibiscus with a $10 super chat. JD, can I get a shout out? Listening to this at work tomorrow, you get me through. What's up, Hibiscus? And Mo Camera, proving that he's a fucking moron again. Canadian $3 super chat. I appreciate the donation, brother. John Cena is one of the most terrible wrestlers. Really. Now I know why I benched you the first time. And that's it. That's it, guys. That's all I got for you. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Bray Wyatt's a loser. Nobody wants to see a Randy Orton feud with The Fiend. It's fucking terrible. But I'm getting out of here, guys. I want to get some sleep. This show puts you in just a terrible state of mind. It really does. Bruce Pritchard needs to go. Bruce Pritchard needs to go. And Monday Night Raw has not changed at all coming out of the draft. It's just awful. Guys, thank you so very much for the super chats. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for hanging out, making me number one all night again. Let's get those likes up there, man. We got 1,400 people still watching. Let's get that over 1,000, man. I know there's some people in here that did not hit the thumbs up. Let's get it to 1,000. Thank you guys for the super chats. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Instagram, same at JD from NY206. You know what, Mo? Go fuck yourself, bro. Get the fuck out of my chat. You fucking cretin. I don't engage with fucking morons. Get out of my chat. hit the subscribe button down below, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for notifications. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Mouthmasker.com/OTS. Bonfire.com. Get your t-shirts. And make sure you guys hit up Blue Chew, man. BlueChew.com. I know you guys want some free shit. BlueChew.com. Use code JD at checkout. Depending on the news, there might be an extra this week. If not, I will be back on Twitch more than likely tomorrow streaming something. Twitch is usually my day to stream on Tuesday. And I will see you guys live with Jesse on Wednesday night. We got a big AEW coming up. And I'll see you guys right back here Wednesday for AEW Dynamite and the post show on Off the Script. Guys, I'm going to take my cold beverage. I'm getting in the Mustang. The windows are down. I want you guys to turn that volume on blast. And when you hear that guitar solo coming on in, I want to see those emojis in the chat, man. I'll see you guys later.